Sporting touch of hands. Round number one. There's that fast start. And that is the fastest knockout in bare knuckle fighting championship.
K-Bomber, born in the Bronx, raised in Dade. Been in the city since Pit had braids. Bahapanti parties, plata know how to sneak me out. Now it's 7-figure meetings, every day we leave the house. It's game time, the game's mine, you know the vibe. Yo viajaba el mundo entero, reppin' 305.
Everybody to another episode of Don't Blink Podcast. You know I got the kid in the building, too nice.
You already know what it is.
And today's another special guest, man. Family to me, bro. It's
Yes, sir.
DJ Chino in the building,
The most winning, baby. We're here,
Yes,
man.
yeah.
Showing love. Hey, thank you for having me, my brother.
thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Tonight.
Yeah.
You already know what it is. We're here, man.
Yeah.
Repping that crib, 305 Day County. You already know what it is.
You already know what's up, boy. Miami, stand up.
Yes, sir.
Hey, thank you for joining us, my brother.
Nah,
Truly
man.
appreciate it, dog.
Thank you guys for having me. You know,
Yeah.
congratulations on the show. You know, I've
Hell
been
yeah.
following. I'm a fan, so
Thank you.
I've seen a lot of guests out here. So
Thank you.
making history, baby.
Yes,
You already
sir.
know what it is.
Hell yeah.
Thank you, my brother. Oh yeah, bro, I know you're a busy man, dog. But before we get into what you got going on now, I like to start the show from the beginning, man. Let the
Yes,
people
sir.
know where you came from. I know you were born in Cuba,
Yes, sir.
and let's start the story. Let them know where it's at.
Well, you know, Chino comes from like everybody calling me when I was a little kid. It's like a nickname that I grew up in, like en un reparto. Yo nací en un reparto en Cuba que se llama Reparto Nazareno en Rancho Boyero. I was born and raised there. Had the blessing of my mom winning the lottery. That's why I'm always saying the most winning, you know, because we literally won the lottery to get out of Cuba. It was a blessing in disguise. I already had some family in the U.S., and then my mom won the lottery, and we were able to get the visa. So the lottery in Cuba, for those who don't know, is you win the visa is to get out the country. It's not, you don't win money, but you just get out the country. It's like a blessing to get a better future, no?
Absolutely.
So my parents had the vision, you know, to take me to a better country to be able to live my dreams, you know, the American dream. So we were blessed to travel. So got to the United States. 1997 is when I got to Miami, had my family here, and then, you know, I grew up here, and, you know, the rest is history. We'll get into that. But that was how I got out of Cuba. But I want to shout out my parents. Thank you. Gracias a mi mamá y papá que pudieron darme la oportunidad de salir de Cuba. Y todo se dio, y gracias a Dios estamos aquí hoy.
Absolutely.
Now we wouldn't be here today.
Hey,
You know?
thank God and thank your parents for
Exactly.
the opportunity,
Definitely.
man. Hell yeah.
Definitely.
Oye, and entonces, so what? So where'd you land when you got here from Cuba?
So I landed in Miami airport. Okay. I remember the first time when I land, I never been on a plane, you know? So they turn off all the lights, like when you're landing in Miami.
Yeah.
And then they tell everybody, like, look out. And it just looked like a bunch of lights. I was like, yo, I don't even know where I was landing. I just know, I'm like, I got to go where I got to go, you know? Yeah. But before that, you know, we try to leave on a boat. You know, like we got caught.
How old were you in 97?
97, I just turned 11.
Okay.
But like 2-3 years before that, prior to that, my parents, we tried to escape Cuba on a boat illegally, but we got caught. My parents went to jail. I stayed obviously with my mom, and then my parents lost their job. My grandfather, like, we were like banned pretty much to do anything in Cuba. So like those 2-3 years after that, it was really hard.
Coño.
There was no food. There was a lot of things going on.
So you guys were really blessed to win the lottery. Porque after going to jail and still get the lottery.
Because she had signed up earlier. So, you know, you send it out, and then 2-3 years later, if it happens. But basically, we try to live illegally because it was during the Los Balseros was happening, like 94 around there, 95.
Right. Yep.
But we got caught, you know, so my parents lost their job. I was a kid, but I remember the whole, you know, like that's like another long story, but I remember going through it, getting on a boat, on a raft, going on a thing, and then like the cops take my dad to jail, my grandfather. It was just a crazy story, but blessed to be here now, you know, healthy. That's the most important these times, you know. Like,
that's awesome,
you already know.
Hell yeah.
It's a crazy story. We got to do another podcast just about that.
I would love to do that because there's
it's a lot of shit.
I'm interested in that, and I'm sure a lot of people are
Definitely,
too, bro.
man.
That's
And I haven't really talked about that in a lot of places. That's why, like,
that's
I like you family, and thank you guys for always believing in me, especially you. You know, we go way back, but there's a lot of things that when you get to certain places, like, people don't know people's story.
Right.
Like, all of us, we got our own story. Everybody got their own thing, you know what I'm saying?
What people see is, we like to say here a lot too, is an overnight success that took 20 years in the making.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Everybody's like, oh, he made it. Like, nigga, I've been working
We've
for
been
20
through
years.
some shit.
I remember Chino doing parties at banquet halls and stuff like that.
Everywhere,
the
man.
mixtape game.
Everywhere.
That's what you got into.
So when I got into music, was my parents. We was always a happy family, you know. In Cuba, it's like that's all you got. You know what I'm saying? You only got music.
Well, you just came from a family party right now.
Exactly.
No?
Definitely. But what I'm saying is, when you're in Cuba, like, you know, like the system is fucked up. Like, shout out to everybody that's out there doing the thing, but all you got is music to escape. So when your parents are cleaning the house in the morning, all they play is music. You got night, that's the only thing you got to have fun, you know what I'm saying? So that's how I grew up, always listening to music, and we were always like a family like that love music. So I feel like my dad used to be in a group in Cuba. He played also congas. My uncle's a pianist. So like I always been related to music somehow. I guess since I was a little kid, I just was able to take it to the next level thanks to the opportunity of being here and like becoming a DJ, producer, now becoming an artist. There's things that I'm like, you know, like looking forward to it now with the music thing.
Damn, that's awesome. Let me ask you, where, what part of Miami where'd you go to elementary school? Like,
so when I came first from Miami, I went to 67 on like 9th Street. We grew up together. We grew up, And then so I was literally, my family lived on 67 and Coral Way, you know, which that's around the hood, exactly. But
shout out to my mom.
Shout out to Uly Monster over there. But so it was like 67 and 9th Street was the first apartment that I lived. It was a 1-bedroom apartment. I lived in a sofa bed, you know. I mean, I slept in a sofa bed. It was right across the street from Winn-Dixie, you know, those apartments right there. Like, and then later we were able to move to 67 and like 21st Street. So we always kept it in West Miami. So I went to West Miami Middle School.
Oh, nice, me too, bro.
I played baseball in Flagami, you know, for a little bit. Like, and then
I grew up with you.
Of course. So I mean, I always knew about 24th Street Barbershop. Sometimes I'll get a haircut there, but I used to get a cut across the street from Disco Fish. Barbershop right there.
I used to go there too.
Shout out to Gabbe. Gabbe used to be my barber.
It's like 4 stores right there.
And then I went to South Miami, you know, for high school, like public school, you know. Shout out to Cobras. And that's what it was, you know, like just like growing up in the thing and then falling in love with music, DJing, grinding, and you know, we've been doing that shit for a long time.
No, for sure. And I remember meeting you, man, when you were young as hell. You had started DJing. You used to come to Pitt's videos. You know what I mean?
Always.
He was always on a grind, always real respectful, always, you know what I mean? A great person, dog. Me and Chino hit it off from day one over 15 years ago.
Definitely.
No, for sure.
No, excuse me, but I wanna take this moment to say thank you to you and you guys. Like you always show love too. Me being and coming from like where I came from, and obviously P is my older brother. He always showed love. He always supported. He always believed in me to become who I am right now, because he gave me the opportunity to a certain extent to be able to do what I love to do, you know. And I'm sure he gave the opportunity to a lot of people, but a lot of people didn't know how to take the opportunity and take it to the next level. You know what I'm saying? Because like you just gotta work hard and grind, and we just clicked and we're here now.
Yeah, it's chemistry, man.
And we're about to go. It's just the beginning, like you always say.
No, it's just the beginning. And listen, man, recognized real from day one. You're one of the realest motherfuckers I know.
Brother.
You've always been a great person. You're still the same person I met 15 years ago. Just older, wiser, and smarter.
Exactly.
And thank God with a little more, you know what I mean? Money. Because you worked your ass off. The thing is where people get mistaken, and I've been there, and it's happened to me, and I've been there, and I've seen it, is where, you know, you get into this lifestyle and people think it's all a party, and it's not. It's not, dog. It's 1% party, and that's once in a while. And then when you party, you got to know how to act. You know what I mean? But the rest is business. And even while you're partying, it's a business. It's networking.
Politicking.
Absolutely. You know, and he's been smart enough to see that, to know that, to recognize that these opportunities come once in a lifetime, bro. And he's ran with it, bro. So it's amazing.
Thank you, my brother.
And my brother, you got Grammys now. You know what I mean? You know, doing videos with huge people, bro. It's amazing. What? Let me ask you, what was like the first thing you remember, like doing your own music, producing, like where you came and you're like, what was the first one that hit?
I mean, the first opportunity always came with Pitt. Always like, he's always like, the DJing is cool, but you need to get into production. So he kind of like opened my mind. I'm like, it's cool. Like, if you really want to make a career of this, anybody could be a DJ. To be honest, like, I'm not, no disrespect to the other DJs out there, but you always got to take it a further step.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, and not to take anything from no DJs because I love DJing.
No,
I love
and
music.
I respect DJs
But,
all day.
yeah, of course, and you are one. But DJing is other people's music that you're just putting together.
Exactly.
Producing, you're making your own.
So he always like believed in me, and then when I joined the band, you know, he was like, look, I think you should get around with the musicians and shit. So, you know, like me and Georgie got real tight.
Yeah,
we started doing shout out to Georgie, the most winning. The most winning. And you know, Papayo was already in another level too, writing, Leo, you know, they're musicians. I didn't understand what like musicians, like how they think, how they, but I came from the DJ world, so I will always tell him like, "Look, let's do it like this." Let's do it. I just didn't know how to like kind of put it together, so we started figuring it out, learning the softwares, learning everything, and then putting it with that's why it was something that clicked with when the music met like the clubs and the DJ of the ear. That's when we started blending, started working together, and then Pete always brought me around early to big producers and always told me learn, see how they talk, see how they present records. And then I remember going to like Jim Johnson studio early days, Pharrell, you know, with Pete, like shout out to Pharrell, Pete, Jim Johnson. They always like, and I was like the young kid in the room just always watching, studying, so like I learned a lot from that. And the way, like, when we did Hotel Room, I remember, like, we was out because Pete was always out in the clubs with us, like, trying to snatch little ideas here and there, because I think that's what music is about, just grabbing little things from everywhere and just putting it together in whatever vision or things you want to do. So the Hotel Room service horns, I remember it was like Cameo, Irie was DJing, and pam 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 pam. That shit came on, and Pete's like, "Yo, we gotta do a record with that shit." Like let's go. We're gonna go see Jim Johnson tomorrow. So I brought the Nightcrawlers record. It was a sample from Nightcrawlers. So I brought Jim like the little sample chopped, and Jim put it in the MPC. He hit the 808 and shit, and Pete's like, "Yo, that's it, just the 808 and those things." Like, Hotel more, and the record came out. So I was like, "Wow, like." You can make something out of this. It's like that shit blew my mind. You know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of like those stories, but like things like that. And then I always tell Pete like, nah, don't worry, like bro, you know it's all up. And he's like, nah. Here's your little percentage. Here's your thing. Build your catalog, build your career, because you know. And those things still to the day, like they report, you know, like money to me. But I didn't see it. But he's always sad because he was already there in a bigger thing. So thanks to him, like I was able to also understand the business side of things, you know, which is important.
Absolutely.
For producers and DJs and writers out there, there's always a way of monetizing or like making some money out of whatever creative things you do, you know.
Yeah, no, that's one thing about Pitt, man. When you do the right thing and when you work with him and when you show him that you want to be successful,
he helps you out.
He helps you out,
sure.
bro.
The alley-oops start coming.
The alley-oops start coming. And not only alley-oops, because
a lot of people have the same opportunity. I'm sure. I mean, we all fam. Like we talk to Pitt like a brother.
Yeah.
And you tell him I want to do this. Like a lot of people come and say it, but they don't do anything.
Right. Don't follow through.
Right.
Yeah, you have to grind. You got to work hard. You know.
Exactly. Yeah. It's like we had a guest here, Chris Rudin. He said something great. It's like it's like people are afraid to give their ideas up because they don't want they take the idea. The thing is, the idea is 10%. The 90% is
you got to execute.
Exactly.
You got to execute the execution.
Exactly.
And that's one thing I've been able to do thanks to like a relationship. Like, one idea can come up and you do it in a voice. No, but now can you make a hit record out of it? That's a different story, you know? Right. Obviously, we have the support, but this shit got to sound right because they got brands and they got things that they got to like.
Sure. Right.
Damn, that's awesome. Yo, but I mean, what were you going to say?
No, go ahead.
Oh, whatever.
I was going to say because when you get here from Cuba, you got into school, the music was running through the blood. Then what happened there? Like how before you met Pitt?
Yeah, so I mean, I was working on a lot of jobs. I had a lot of jobs. So I worked at Winn-Dixie. I worked at the youth fair. I worked at Arby's. I worked at a hospital. I worked like selling purses, stolen purses, like you know, like Louis Vuitton and shit. That was a lick back then. So I went to South Miami, but how I really started was throwing parties because I always loved music. So I got with a clique of friends from South Miami, and we started doing the all ages party scene.
Yeah, that's what I remember.
I mean, even Pete performed there, Khaled, like Flo, everybody like coming up, and then we started doing our own parties. So they got so big that like we used to do like we'll rent the clubs. And then we'll be like, okay, we'll give you the X amount for like a day off on Memorial Day, let's say space, $20,000, but then we keep everything. So we'll sell pre-sell tickets in the high schools, but we didn't sell any liquor. It was like minor things.
Yeah.
And those parties were wild, bro. Like,
No,
we
it
got
was lit.
everybody,
It
you know.
was
That was
lit.
like, that doesn't happen anymore, you know. There was no social media back then. So thank God.
Yeah.
And now we're all being fucking in jail right now. The shit that went at the phone parties and shit.
There's some old pictures and Polaroids probably.
So that's how everything really started. So that's how we kind of build our fan base. From there, we jumped into college parties at the Grove, you know, like Apple Martini, Visions, like Fat Tuesdays, Flavor and all. And then from there, we went to the beach, you know, to like the big clubs. Like back then was Mansion, Louis, you know, Mokai and all of that. The Opium Group, you know, like.
Nice.
Damn,
But it was just, and bongos, shout out to bongos too, because
too.
like I always DJ like open format, but I always kept it with the Latin because that was our roots. You know what I mean? You always have to like, even in school, be like, oh, you a ref and shit, yeah, nigga. But that's who I am. What do you want me to do? I came from Cuba, like I'm not gonna change who I am. You know what I'm saying? Like
represent, dog.
and you know, South Miami, there you have your black boys, you have your like Indians, you know, like. Like your Nicaraguense, Hondureño, and then you have like the Cubans, the
Cuban
reps,
crew.
you know. So it was like a mixture. Like Coral Park was the same, you know. Like we all grew up around that shit. Yeah.
Exactly. All right, my brother. Let me ask you, man. How was it? How was the feeling of winning a Grammy, dog?
I mean, it was the most winning. But no, shout out to Pitt because you know I think like we're blessed to be able to work on a project that like that big. That was my first big project that I did, that I involved all my people, my team, because I wouldn't been able to do it if it was by myself, to be honest. I had great writers, great producers on the album, especially Pip being a superstar. If we wouldn't probably have not even been noticed if it wasn't like his project. So that's our first Grammy that we won together. It was a blessing because we won an American Grammy on a Latin album. So we broke history, you know what I'm saying? Like, so it was a blessing, and shout out to everybody that did the album with me. Like, you know, I'm still friends with everybody. We still do music together. But it was an amazing feeling. We didn't believe it, you know. When we got it, we was there. I remember we was at the Grammys because we performed that night too. And we met Lionel Richie. That night wasn't backstage. It was a Pit introduced me to Lionel Richie. He's like, this motherfucker just won a Grammy. And that motherfucker's like, yeah, I got like 10 Grammys. It's our first one, bro, you know, like. That's awesome. And then and we met Nile Rodgers too, the guitar player. He's like a legend. And he got like 10 Grammys too.
Neil Rodgers.
So it was a blessing in the sky to be a part of that. We had a great time, and we were able to close the Grammys that year too. We paid. We did a Taxi, which is, you know, like a big record.
No, that
we
record
produced.
took off.
And then we did also the record with Travis Barker and I forgot the other guy's name. It was Batman. It was like a rock record. We did.
That's right.
Damn,
it was blessed, man. You know, like being able to win like something like that at that level. Like, who would have thought? Me, born in Cuba. My mom won the lottery. Like, the story is crazy. Like, I don't let that shit get to me, but sometimes you realize like everything that we done, and it's like we're blessed. You know, we're blessed.
Yeah, you can't let it get to you, but you just gotta remember where you came from.
Exactly.
You just gotta
Always.
remember. Oh yeah, my brother. And let me ask you, man, how was last year for you? How was the pandemic?
Man, I think it was a blessing, to be honest.
Absolutely.
Like, for everybody, I think, especially us that we're on the road so much. Like, I was able to, like, you know, like focus on myself, like realize like on my health. Like, to be honest, like when I first hit the road, like I gained a lot of weight. I was kind of like drinking a lot, you know. I thank God I never got into heavy drugs and stuff because I always kept my mind right. But like I was definitely overweight. I wasn't healthy like I am right now.
I'm glad you're getting into that because I was going to ask you. I see you've been working out.
Thank you.
You lost
trying to get like you, trying to get ripped like you.
Look great,
I'm not gonna fight, but I'm gonna get like you.
You look great.
But thank you, bro. But like what I'm saying is like it was like it was like a time that we didn't have. Because we don't have enough time in the day to work on ourselves. So I was able to like work mentally and like be able to like diet and like work out, and really took that time to like focus on myself and also to organize my business, because you got so much shit going on, like every day putting out records. Like I was able to like reel back. I was like, okay, what records do I got out? What I haven't signed a split for this. So I was able to organize everything, like musically and business wise, but most important, health wise. You know, like
which is most important.
Exactly.
Which is most.
Everything's health. At the end of the day, we wouldn't be able to do anything if we didn't have the health that we have. Thank God, you know, like so I was able to like clean my liver. I stopped drinking, smoking for like 4 or 5 months. I was like, let me just like take this time, because I know when this shit is over, we're gonna do another.
Yeah,
it was like 10 years. You know what I'm saying? Like 10 years non-stop.
Yeah.
thank God we were able to do that, but that can affect your health too, to a certain extent. So for me, it was a blessing, to be honest.
Of course.
And thank God, I have money saved up. Even though I didn't have the many shows coming in, since I have a catalog, I will still be able to live and get some money without because of Pete told me yo, you gotta have your shit because this is not gonna last forever. You gotta be able to be organized. You know what I'm saying? So for me, it was a blessing. For some people, they hated it because they live day to day. For me, to be honest, it was a blessing.
For all of us,
it was one of the best years of my life.
Yeah,
man.
to be honest.
One of the best
2020, you're gonna remember that shit for the rest of your life.
And
2020 vision, like you said.
Exactly.
Clear vision.
Don't Blink podcast.
Don't blink, baby. Shout out, Don't Blink.
And I'm in a couple of Chino's videos.
Yeah, man.
Hell yeah.
I read them with Químico. My bad.
Químico,
Farruko, J.
Justin Kilich.
You just did
shout
one
out
right
Gil
now.
Green.
We're
Gil Green, man.
Yeah.
No, thank you for always showing love in the music video. Because
you know what's crazy, bro? My bad to interrupt you, but today I always go to my archives on Instagram, and today the archive was a picture of me and White Boy and Gil Green from that music video.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That's it, yeah.
Yeah,
And
but
you did one recently too with Juice's Whip.
Oh yeah, that's right, with Charlie Brown.
Oh, yeah, that was a Croncaton. We did the street record. Yeah.
Shit, tell us about that a little bit, because that's your vibe right there.
So I've been producing for a while, DJing. Now I'm transitioning. So my goal, I'm gonna be the Latin Puff Daddy. That's my goal. That's my vision.
Take that.
Yeah, because I feel like I've done the DJ thing, I've done the producing thing. Now I'm jumping more into the artist thing. Now I feel comfortable. I feel like I found my voice to a certain extent. I know how to like sing on records and do things. Obviously in the Latin world, but shout out to Puff Daddy too. One time I was with him in LA. And I was helping write a record that he was on with Ozuna, and I was there, and I just had to tell him, I'm like, bro, I'm trying to be you in the Latin world. He's like, yo, get it, do it,
Yeah.
So, but I feel like in the Latin world, we always have to push ourselves, no matter in the Latin world, any world. I feel like I got to a level, I'm doing production, I'm DJing, I've done any club, anything that I put to my mind. So now I'm trying to challenge myself as a person to go to the next level. Some people are going to laugh at me. Some people are going to be like, I don't give a fuck. I'm going to go and do what I feel like I got to do. You know what I'm saying?
Hell yeah, let it rip.
And then at the end of the day, that's what makes us special and different from everybody. You gotta go get what people never gonna believe until you do it. The minute I crack a record as an artist, and everybody I knew you was gonna do it.
First
but it takes time, you know what I'm saying?
And then they're fans, though.
So now that's where I'm at right now in my career. Now I'm doing a whole Latin urban project as a reggaeton. I'm singing more records. I have a lot of features, and thank God I have a lot of friends that I've been working with for many years that are supporting, including Pete, Yandel, Farruko, Tito Bambino, a lot of guys. So the minute that they're already recording with me, I'm like, okay, shit, maybe my music's not that bad. If they're recording on the record, they like at least what I'm doing. So that gives me more fuel to So that's where I'm at right now. I'm trying to build that brand as a Latin ditty that doesn't exist in the Latin world. That's where I'm at. If I can go to a club and I could DJ or I could host or I could perform a record, I want to do anything that has to do with music. That's what my vision is at right now. And then, I haven't released a lot of music, but then I created a genre. I said, as a producer, I want to create a genre that identifies us, who we are, where we grew up on. So I made a genre called Croncaton. So Croncaton is crunk with reggaeton. So it's perreo and crunk. It's what we grew up on, Little John shit, 3 6 Mafia, David Banner shit. So I'm sampling a lot of those riffs and the old school shit, and it's just kind of bringing a new vibe with the perreo and I want this to be something that's underground, that comes from the bottom. I'm not thinking radio, commercial. I just want rappers or people just give opportunity to kids and shit that are coming up from any hood just to jump on this shit. It's like a new sound, you know what I'm saying?
I love it. I fucking love it, my brother. Oh, yeah. I was thinking about earlier. I was talking about this earlier. I said I had to bring it up during the show. We got a bunch of funny stories together. But,
definitely.
There's one that I want to talk about when you lived in this building and you jumped in the elevator and you had beef with someone.
I lived in this building, and then I was, kind of seeing this girl that lived in the building, and whatever, we had a thing, but it was like a fling thing that we had. And then there was this guy that I guess he had beef with me because he had just jumped out of prison, some hood guy. And then he always the girl, I guess, told him that I work with Pig. Girls, they be saying shit. So I was like, whatever. So one day my dog hit me up and he's like, yo, some guy here asking about you and shit. Just be careful, because I'm like, fuck it, I don't have any problem with nobody, but it is what it is. One day I jumped in the elevator and the homie jumps in the elevator with me. I already knew what's up, but I was acting like I don't know what's going on. He's a big dude, you know, like like mad tattoos and shit. I'm just like, he's like, oh, you know, such and such. I'm like, yeah, no, we're friends. What's up? He's like, nah, I just want to let you know, I'm with her now and the whole night. I'm like, nah, I'm cool, bro. Like, you know, like whatever we had, it was something that, you know, and we were home, we had gone in the club. So we jumped out of the elevator. He pulled out a crazy knife. He pulled out a knife.
Oh, shit.
He's like, nah, because you know it is what it is. I'm like, bro, look, I ain't here to do nothing. And he starts name dropping a bunch of like goons and shit from Miami. I'm like, this motherfucker name dropping. I'm gonna name drop my dog Uly. Like, that's the nigga I got, right? So I'm like, yo, bro, look, I never been a gangster. Like, that's not my shit. But you know my dog Uly, 67 Uly. He's like, oh, 67 Uly. He's like, nah, we straight, dog. Let me know if you want to name. I live right there. If you want to knock on my door, I call Uly. I'm like, yo, bet that up, nigga. I just shot you out. I don't know what's gonna happen.
Yo, you don't want that smoke.
I'm sure homie gonna see this shit.
How many flights up was the elevator ride?
2 floors.
Okay,
It was 1 floor. It was
Imagine one of those condos in the elevator with a homie like that. 15 floors. De pinga.
Nah, but at the end of the day, I never had any problem with anybody. You know, like everybody show love, but you know,
I just wanted to bring that up because it's a funny story.
No, shout out to her and to him. Like, there's no beef, nothing. Like, we're good. But if shit gets down, we're good too.
Yeah. I'm a phone call away, my brother. Oh yeah, but my brother, let us know what you got coming up, man. What's going on with DJ Chino now and in the near future?
So right now, I'm focusing, like I said, like I'm working on Pitbull's new project. We just dropped the first single. As a producer, like, that's what I'm doing.
Ten cuidado.
Ten cuidado con el fuego que te quema, candela. So it's a record that we were able to put together with Farruko, El Alfa, and Omar Courts. He's a new up-and-coming artist from Puerto Rico.
Fire record.
Shout out to all the DJs that are playing the record. The record's doing really good right now. And then Pig killed it like always. And I feel like the energy between El Alfa, Farruko, and Pig is like a no-brainer record. So that's the first single of the album. We're working on more stuff that's coming out. I'm definitely producing Pit's new album with the help of a bunch of like writers and producers that are involved. I also have my projects coming out. I just dropped a record last night with Elvis Crespo and De Oro.
Oh shit!
It's an electronic record because I'm doing a little bit of everything. You know, I'm doing urban music as an artist. I'm still dropping records as a DJ producer. Like, you just gotta have your name out everywhere. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm on the hustle. I'm on the grind.
Hell yeah.
When you talk to Elvis, tell him you on here with me. I used to be in security.
Elvis is a good dude, man. Shout out to Elvis. So the song is called Napoleon. It's out right now.
Nice.
Me, Diorro, and Elvis there. We just producers. It's just a name on it. We don't shout out on the record. We don't do anything. Yeah. And then I'm also working on a lot of like the Mr. 305 artists that are signed to the label. I also have Lanier's project that I'm helping out. He's a Cuban artist from Miami, dope songwriter. The new single comes out with Yandel now in like 2 weeks. I got 4 records on Farruko's album. Shout out to Farruko too, Carbon Fire. I think we got the next single. You know, shout out to Frank, White Star, like, you know, Charo, everybody there in the team, Carbon Fire. They always show love.
Oh, coño, so you have some great shit going on, bro.
Yeah, man. We're blessed. Like, just working hard, you know. Like I said, like I took the advantage of the quarantine just to be in the studio while niggas was sleeping at the crib. They're not trying to get out because of COVID. I'm recording, making records. So now we're going to see that. Because I feel like music is like that. You work hard for 6 months to a year, and then the next year is when you really see a result. Because it takes time for the artist to cut the records, to show it to them. But if you took that time off, you slept. Like, don't blink. Don't blink.
I remember going to the studio. We went to the studio. Chino
you play me some of your music too. Yeah,
and Chino played us some of that Croncaton.
You never know, boy. You might see 2 nights features.
Oh no!
Hey, we gotta definitely do it.
I signed up for the lottery already. I signed up for the lottery for one of them beats, but
no, we're good. You know, you already know his home team, his family. We gotta keep working, bro. You never know what the record is, what it is. You know,
absolutely. My brother, what advice can you give anybody up and coming that was in your shoes? You know what I mean? That's a producer or a DJ or wants to get in the music business, man. Leave them with something positive.
Definitely, you gotta work hard. You gotta believe in yourself. I think that's the most important. Like, a lot of people are not gonna believe in you. There's gonna be a lot of things that, even if you got a lot of things going on in your life, because we all have done. I mean, you guys are a perfect example. You gotta do what you love to do. I think that's the most important. Some people don't have the advantage of doing that. I didn't have the advantage of doing it in a certain time of my life, but I worked hard to be able to get out of what I was doing just to focus on that. So just work hard, like, believe in yourself, and work hard. You know what I'm saying? Like that's the only thing. I stay healthy, obviously, but you know what I'm saying? Like that's the most. I'm stay focused.
That's my formula, bro.
Yeah, man.
Be consistent, stay working hard, stay dedicated,
Yeah, man.
and with time you're gonna see success, brother.
If you work hard, like people say, like I know because I'm a perfect example, and you have, and everybody here has. If you work hard, you dedicate yourself to what you love to do, and the opportunities always show up. It might be a little opportunity, it might be a big opportunity, but something always gonna like give you the light to keep going. That's just what it is. You know?
Absolutely. Well, my brother, a huge part of this show, we bring it up every show from show 1 to this show right now.
Yeah.
Is we talk about aliens, right?
All right.
In December, Donald Trump signed a COVID bill.
Okay.
That 180 days after he signed it, they got to release UFO information.
All right.
By the time this show airs, they're going to release the information. But what's you ever think about aliens? I'm big on the pyramids and aliens and weird shit like that. Pero eso te cruza la mente a ti ever? UFOs. Put a UFO in the next Croncaton video.
Definitely. I mean, I'm already an alien.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm an alien, so I'm part of the alien community. Because when you got that green card, you're an alien. You know what I mean? Like, so like, and at the end of the day, no, like everybody believes in the stuff. You know, like I respect everybody's like religion and whatever they might think, but that there might be another world there. Maybe I think that there has to be, right? Like I don't know, it's a possibility. Just shout out, like we live in this world now. I'm focusing here. Maybe tomorrow, if the aliens come down, maybe we do some songs together, whatever's going on. But right now,
I love it. Like I tell everybody, man, I'm not religious, but I'm spiritual. I believe in God.
Yeah, no, I definitely believe in God. You know, in Los Santos, Cuba, like we were raised on that. No, I don't get into it deep, but I respect everybody's religion.
Absolutely. I respect everybody. I believe in God, and you know, different people got different names for it. I believe in God, and I know I'm here today after 40 years of the life I've lived because of God and my mom's prayers. So thank God for that. If the aliens come, I'm down with them too, bro. You know
we're gonna fight with them. We're gonna do records. I don't know what we're gonna do, but we're gonna invite them to our world. This is our world. You know,
they're looking at us. They're looking at us like, look at these niggas.
Oh, yeah, my brother, it's been amazing having you on here, dog.
No, thank you for the opportunity, bro.
No, absolutely. I would thank you for coming. Your story's amazing. I want to come back and do a part 2 with you.
Yeah,
we're gonna talk about
the deep on the story.
Right. ¿Cómo se llama? You're the man.
Thank you. I want to hear. Obviously, don't worry about the glasses. I want to say thank you guys, for having me on the show. Don't Blink, episode podcast. I want to say congratulations on everything you got going on, you got going on, and you already know, like. You're a perfect example of somebody that, came from nothing to doing something, and you believe you could do it, and you've been doing it, and you got the most winning blessings. You're the most winning.
Thank you.
And you too.
Oh, thank you, bro. Appreciate that.
So look at the fight is coming up. We already know we're winning always.
Don't motherfucking blink.
Don't blink, baby. 305.
We got
that's a history maker right there. Little Rips, Let Her Rip season white on white.
Tight work.
And we got to give a shout out to my sponsors on the show. Our sponsors on the show on Don't Blink. Romero Lumper Services. Anything you need on your warehouse, call Romero Lumper Services. Let them know the Kid Too Nice and the Monster sent you.
Oh yeah.
And Aracibia Bail Bonds. Don't say I've told you. I'm just kidding, man. Call Arancibia. if you need to get out of jail, you got a family member in jail, Arancibia Bail Bonds will get you out ASAP. Chino, you've been amazing, my brother.
Thank you, my brother, for having me here, man.
Nothing but more winning and more winning and more winning for you.
More wins, baby.
Thank you for everybody that tuned in. We love y'all. Nothing but winning, baby. Nothing but winning to y'all too. We love
the most
y'all.
winning.
Stay tuned. Don't fucking blink. Bow.
I think me and Too Nice got something great going on. We got some great guests coming up. It's gonna be dope. We got some dope people that already signed up to do it with us, which is great. A lot of people show us love, and it's because we love them back for sure.